Hello everyone, it's Alison here, and I'm going to guide you through a grounding hatha practice. And I wanted to offer this practice to Breathing Space Yoga Studio. As some of you may know, I used to teach there back in the day. One of my favorite classes to teach was the Candlelit Hatha class on Sunday evenings. So that style of class will be very similar to this one, where we're moving slowly through the postures and really inviting you to connect into the body, pay attention to the body, the mind, and the breath. And also honoring yourself if something's not feeling right, just being very gentle with yourself. We're not moving quickly. And I'll also be encouraging you, if you're feeling a little more tight or restricted this evening, then you could use a belt or you could use a yoga strap. And I also like to have a blanket nearby. This is nice if you wanted to fold it and have a seat when you're doing your grounding at the beginning of class, or if you like to wrap up at the end in Savasana. So if you want to grab those items and go right ahead, we'll meet back here in our seated easy pose. So easy pose isn't always easy. So if you find that you're most comfortable in butterfly with your feet together, you could do that as well. Or maybe you even want to do a half butterfly, then that's an option. So always paying attention if something's not feeling right, especially for easy pose. Some people say their feet fall asleep or their hips start to get sore, then come out of the posture, okay? But to begin, let's start by leaning our body left and right and really feeling that connection that we have to our mats. And as you lean left and right, you might become aware of the fact that we tend to have a preference. We tend to lean more maybe one way or another. So it's nice to recalibrate, so to speak, to come back to what feels like center. From here, your palms can be down on your lap, or you could choose to put the thumb and index finger together on your knees with the palms facing up, your choice. You can close the eyes or soften the gaze down as you begin to bring awareness inward. Taking this moment of stillness and silence to check in with how you're doing. Beginning with the mind noticing the thoughts that might be coming and going. Then noticing the body as a whole. Any sensations that might be arising in this moment. Allow yourself to relax, especially in places you tend to hold tension. Perhaps it's the jaw. You might relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, separating the teeth. Perhaps it's the shoulders, relaxing shoulders back and down away from the ears. Maybe it's allowing the legs and the hips to soften, drawing a little bit closer to the floor. And then coming to the breath. Breathing in and out and noticing the quality of your breath. You might sense into the belly, the rib cage, the throat. You might also sense in to the collarbones and shoulders. You might become aware of the breath coming in through the nose and following that breath down the throat into the lungs. And then sensing the breath as it leaves the body. Before beginning our pranayama, take this moment to set your intention for the class. Your intention can reflect what it is you feel you may need in this moment. And you might make it in the form of a mantra. May I be. That could be something of the mind or the body. and then coming back to your breath. If it's feeling comfortable, place one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly, creating this nice lifting up through the spine. As you breathe into the nose and the breath deep within the lungs, the belly expands outward. As you exhale, allow the belly to soften. Continuing like this, as you inhale, send the breath deep within the lungs. Feeling that lower hand expand outward. And very slowly release the breath out. Breathing in. And breathing out. By lengthening your exhalation, we're inviting the body to come into a state of relaxation. For some people, this might feel uncomfortable if they're used to short or shallow breathing. So go nice and slow, and any time you need to, come back to your regular breathing. And for our practice today, the breath will be our anchor to this present moment. On your next exhalation, slowly allow the hands to come back to your sides. If the eyes are closed, they can now open. As we do some sun breaths here, let's start by reaching the arms straight forward. As we inhale up overhead, the gaze can follow the hands. As you exhale, lower the arms down. We'll do that once more as we inhale, reach arms up, and exhale them down. Then point the thumbs outward like a snow angel. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Once more like that. Really grounding through those sitting bones, yet we're lifting up tall through the arms and spine. Notice what that does for your breath. Wonderful. On this next inhalation, we're going to reach the arms up. As you exhale to your left side, your right hand comes to your left knee, your left hand comes behind you. Seated spinal twist. And if this is feeling uncomfortable for you, you could release your legs. So you might release your leg out and still come into the twist. Your choice. As you inhale yourself back to center, we'll go in the other direction. So I'm going to show you from this easy pose position. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale over to the right side. So your left hand's on right knee and your right hand's behind you. As we open up the right side of the body, breathe into that space that you created. And then inhaling yourself back to center. Releasing through the legs now, we're going to have the legs go wide. As you inhale the right arm up, you're going to start to slide your left arm down your leg and then reach that arm over. Still creating this space through the side rib cage on the right side, but also a little bit of space between arm and ear. Wonderful. As you inhale, reach up, exhale, lower. We'll switch directions now. Right hand slides down that right leg. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over to the right. Very natural for one side to feel different than the other. So noticing that. And when you're ready, inhale, arm up and left arm will come back down again. Coming into butterfly pose, the soles of the feet come together. For some people, they might find this to be uncomfortable on the hips. You have choices. You could lift yourself up using that blanket we referred to earlier. Or if you have some couch cushions nearby, you could stack them underneath the sides of your thighs. And I like to prioritize the spine being tall here. So as opposed to getting the heels really close and rounding the spine, we'll prioritize the spine being tall and maybe inching the feet away. So I'm going to turn for a moment so you can visualize that a little bit better. So I'm staying tall and then finding that sweet spot with my feet. We'll relax the hands on the legs for a moment. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, neck tall, for a few breaths here. Wonderful. If it's comfortable, stay here and enjoy this work on your posture. Or option to exhale and start to walk your hands forward. This will deepen the stretch through the inner thighs. It also expand and lengthen the spine. We're closing off the front body, so notice the breath. It might be going more into your back body. Breathe into that space you've created. Relaxing the neck, relaxing the jaws. Wonderful. And inhaling yourself all the way back up, nice and slowly, stacking the spine. Assist your knees back together. Your feet come flat, hands come behind you as you rock your legs left and right for windshield wipers. We're going to make our way now to tabletop, so on your hands and knees. If you have any sensitivities to your knees or your hands, you could fold your mat, or you can grab that blanket to help support those areas. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. From here, we're going to loosen up the mid, back, and shoulders. As we inhale, right arm's going to reach up for the sky, and if it's comfortable, you can look at your hand. As you exhale, it comes down. We switch sides. Weight into the right hand. Inhale, left arm reaches up high and tall. Notice the difference perhaps from left to right here. As you exhale, lower. We'll do that once more each side. Inhaling to lift up and exhaling to lower. Wonderful. As you come back down, we'll come into a supported side plank. You're going to rotate your left foot off of the mat. Your right leg comes long so that we're weight bearing through the left hand, the right foot, and through the left knee. We inhale in a similar way, reach up tall. Option to have gaze up at the hand, or if it's easier on the neck, just look forward. You can reach that arm overhead for an added stretch through the side body. And you might even encourage those hips to start pressing forward. Really getting some lengthening and stretch through that fascia, those muscles that run as well through the rib cage. As you exhale, arm comes down, and we're going to rotate that left foot back, making your way to tabletop. Take a moment to check back in. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Learn from that side. Maybe you'll go easier on the other side. Maybe you'll go further. Just being aware of that. So right foot comes off the mat, left foot goes long this time. Weight bear through the right hand, left foot and right knee. As you inhale, left arm reaches tall. Noticing what this feels like for you on the side. Breathing with the hold. At this point, you can stay as is or reach left arm overhead, encouraging the hips to press forward. Big opening through the left side body. Wonderful. Continue that reach down as you make your way back to tabletop. We'll now come in to Cobra. So walk your hands forward and your knees back. Slowly lower onto your belly. Hands are under shoulders, tops of feet press into the mat. Your pelvis stays down. Inhale, start to slowly come up for baby cobra. And exhale down. We'll do that twice more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. Neck is long. Exhale down. We'll add some strength here. Take your hands to the edge of the mat. Shoulder blades squeeze back and down as if you're going into the back pockets. Inhale, lifting up through the head and the hands. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift up. This could be the tiniest lift up. It doesn't have to be big. Exhale, lower. Honoring your body and where it's at today. Then start to press through your hands, pushing yourself back up. As we make our way into child's pose, your knees can be as wide as the mat, or if you want, you can do a narrow child's pose. You sink your hips back and down, your hands walk up the mat. The priority here is for the forehead to touch the mat. Really allow the weight of your neck and head to relax and soften. If you're feeling any pinching through the shoulders, you could create a little more bend and opening through the shoulder space. And if you find this hard on the hips and the knees, you might decide to take puppy dog, where you lift the pelvis up and just sink down more through the thoracic or mid back and less through the hips. One more breath here. Nice and slowly rock your head left and right, massaging through the forehead. For some people, this is where they hold tension. So child's pose is a wonderful time to go inward, to really sense into the body, the breath, and this gentle rocking of the head left and right, and be a nice release of tension being held through that space. There's also a point there in acupuncture that's deep relaxation. So noticing the effects that has. So just really let your head be heavy, letting that gentle pressure go through your forehead. And when you're ready, coming up to a high kneeling posture, and face you for this one. As you come to high kneeling, be aware of your knees. You might want support here. Your hips stacked over knees, the shoulder blades drop back and down, this nice opening in the chest, arms at your sides. We'll inhale with a sun breath up overhead and exhale down. We'll do that once more. This time let a sigh out. Inhale up, exhale, sigh. Wonderful. And I like to add this bit of rotation. It's playful, it's exploratory. Just notice how your body's doing and accessing some of those movements that we might not get into in the run of a day. So you're rotating your arms and trunk to the left and then to the right. And then you're just allowing yourself to move freely. Less structure, just more playful movement here. You might allow the arms to swing and be heavy, like a pendulum. Very good. As you come back to center, we're going to take the right leg out to the side. Relax your right arm. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over for gate pose. We'll inhale that arm up, exhaling back down again. Take the right knee back as we switch sides. Left leg goes long, left arm relaxes. Inhale, reach up and over to your left. Creating that nice space between your arm and ear. As you inhale up, exhale back down, draw that left knee back in. Coming in now into a stretch for the toes. You're going to be in this high kneeling position, tuck your toes, and start to slowly lean back. That'll add a little more pressure to the toes, giving also some stretch to the fascia, that connective tissue at the bottom of your foot. You might also feel it through the heel. So just noticing as you kind of pulse yourself back and forth. And of course, if you have some irritation through the toe, especially the big toe, it'd be more common to have some sensitivity into end range extension. Then you can always choose to just do one side at a time and give the other side a break. Very good. Release your feet, tap them out, give them a little bit of a rest. And we're going to make our way back to our bottoms. Coming into running deer, one of my absolute favorite poses, great for the hips. We're allowing one hip to go into external rotation, the other into internal rotation. And generally speaking, we have more external than internal. So as you let your legs swing to your left side, you'll probably notice more pressure in your right hip and a little bit of a lifting in the left hip. And if you just find that's way too much for you, especially I commonly see it on the left hip that people are finding that difficult because it's an internal rotation, you might release that leg. Just keeping it almost like this one-sided butterfly pose. But if you're choosing to stay here, then you can start to rotate yourself to the right side and start to lower yourself down. And when I say lower, I'm just saying to your forearms at the most. You could even just stay on your hands, okay? So you might stay tall in this running deer posture, twisting to your right, or you might come down onto your forearm. And that's all going to depend on your body and how it's doing today. I'm going to stay tall just for the purpose of being able to demonstrate this from a space you can see me well. Find your breath here. Bringing that intention back to mind. Remember why you're here, what it is you may need. Very good. Take a moment to rise back up. And before switching sides, let's pause in between. Take a couple windshield wipers here. Very good. Then your legs go to the right side, knowing this side might be different. So if that's feeling like too much, remember your option to straighten the right leg and just turn into that twist just ever so slightly. If you are deciding to stay here in running deer, then start to lift your trunk towards the left side. And as you're doing so, allow the right hip to lift up further. Allow that rotation to happen. And then once again, your choice to stay tall with your hands out long or to come down to your forearms. And if you do have a pillow nearby, some people like to hug onto a pillow here or roll your blanket up, get comfortable. Finding your breath. Wonderful. Coming back up nice and slowly, always slowly out of these deep stretches. Very good. We're going to make our way onto our back now. I find the best way to do that is to have the knees bent, feet flat, and then use your hands as a guide if you need some support. Once you get all the way down, we're going to draw the left knee in and give it a hug. My choice here is to keep this opposite knee bent, as you can see, or you can straighten the right leg out. And then be exploratory here. You might rock the leg in and out. Noticing what does this feel like. Very natural to have a bit of a pinch in the front part of the hip. Maybe some pull and lengthening in the back. Come back to center. If the right knee is straight, bend it. Send the left knee down. Draw the right knee towards you. Give it a hug. This would be a great time to use a strap too. If you're finding it hard to reach your leg and drawing it in, the strap's a great option. Once again, choice to have the opposite knee bent or lengthening it, creating a bit more space for this rocking left and back and forth, sensing into the hip joint what it's feeling like in this moment and how perhaps that may feel different than the other side. Draw the left knee back up, set the right knee down. Take a couple of windshield wipers. And we'll come into figure 4 stretch. As you take your right ankle over your left knee, you can choose to stay here pressing your right knee away from you, or you might draw the left knee towards you, which is just going to intensify that stretch in the right hip. I like to also lift the left foot up here and give a little bit of love to the foot and ankle. So squeeze the toes, rotate the ankle, draw some circles. And then just for a moment, bring awareness back to that right hip. Invite the upper body, the jaw, the neck, and head to relax and be heavy. Feel the weight of your body against the mat, grounded and supported. With an exhalation, let the left leg come down, release the right leg. Notice that difference you might sense into from left to right. As we switch sides, left ankle over right knee, hang out here if you'd like in figure 4, or draw the right knee towards you. Choice to stay here or send the right foot up to the sky. Give some love to that foot and that ankle. Squeeze the toe, release the toes. And then bringing awareness back to that left hip. Encouraging the rest of your body to soften in spaces that don't need to be working for you. The jaw, the facial muscles. Lengthening your exhalation. Then send the right foot down. Release the left leg. And start to send the legs long. So we're coming into our Savasana. For just a moment though, we're going to give a little bit of love to the shoulders. As you inhale, reach arms to the sky. Take right hand to opposite elbow, left to right. From here, we're lifting up through the shoulder blades, really release them from the floor, and start to rock the arms left and right. So it's the equivalent to windshield wipers, but for the shoulders and the shoulder blades. And you'll notice this gentle massage to the mid-back, very common place for people to hold tension. You can breathe with the movement. You might inhale as you go right, exhale as you go left. Whatever's feeling more natural for you. And as you come back to center, bring those arms up overhead. You could loosen up on that grip just for a moment, getting a little bit of that opening through the upper rib cage. Deep breath in and out. Sighing with your exhalation. Then send your arms back to your sides. We'll finish here for Shavasana using your blanket if you'd like. So Shavasana is a wonderful pose to really settle into stillness and allow your body to integrate all of those movements, all of those breaths. And just like at the beginning of class, we're encouraging the mind to come either back to your mantra or back to the breath as an anchor point. Allowing your body to settle here into stillness, feeling all the parts that are relaxing into the mat. Feel the weight of your right leg. Feel into the heel, the calf, the upper leg and hip. Allowing it to become heavier. Feel the weight of the left leg, the heel, the calf, the upper leg and hip. Letting it relax further. You might even allow the toes to point and fall away. Feel your spine supported by the floor, allowing the weight of your head to become heavier. As you breathe in, imagine your breath going throughout your entire body. As you exhale, allowing your arms to become heavier against the floor. A softness through the fingertips. Sense into the back of your right hand, your forearm, your upper arm and shoulder, heavy into the mat. As you sense your left hand, left forearm, and upper arm. Once again, becoming heavier into the surface below. Another breath in, filling the belly. Another breath out. Easing into the stillness and silence of this moment. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do. We'll finish with a loving kindness meditation. If you'd like to place your hands over your heart and silently repeat to yourself, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be kind. And may I find peace within. Take a moment to be still a little bit longer, staying for as long as you'd like. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Namaste.